Page 36, Russian folk song. In this lesson, they're introducing a new note for the bass clef. See, so far we've just been using these notes in the music. Now they're adding the A. For the bass clef, it's the top line in the bass clef staff. Top line, that's an A. Just memorize that. It's an A. Play that note right below middle C. It's this note, that A. They give a left-hand warm-up. I hate warm-ups. Let's go to the piece. If you have questions about the warm-up, let me know, but otherwise I don't cover the warm-ups. I may eventually when the music starts getting involved. Right now I don't see any point in warming up. Let's do the piece. Here though, we are playing both hands at the same time. This is the first one we're doing that in. Let's look this over. It is what? 5 lines long, I see, because there's 4 lines on page 37. Treble and bass clef, 4/4 time signature. Got a lot of quarter notes and half notes and a whole note at the end. And this is in sections, it looks like. You see the A, B, B, A, 1. Remember I talked sections where a piece of music can be in sections, like a book can be in chapters. Music can be in sections. Well, here they've labeled the sections for you. And the first section is always A and then B or whatever. Well, so we have A, the first 2 lines of section A. And then you have 2 lines of section B. And then we go back to section A, but it's not exactly the same. So it's an A1. That means it's similar to A, but a little different, an A1. All right. The idea that as far as right now, that's going to help us with section is when you have a longer piece of music, you don't always start working on it at the beginning and going to the end. That's a really inefficient way of practicing. You have to break it up into pieces, and you learn the pieces, and then you go put them together. It's much quicker. You learn it much faster. Here, when they give you sections like this, you learn it a section at a time. So learn section A, which is the first line, and when you have that down, put it aside. Focus on section B, which is starts at measure 7. Remember the numbers above the staff and the boxes are measure numbers? Measure 7, section, and you'll learn section B. You get that down, then do A1, because it'll be similar to A, but a little different. Make sure you can do that. And when you have that done, then you go put it all together. And you'll find that even though you haven't been practicing A for a while, you'll still be able to play it. You won't have forgotten it that soon. And that's much quicker, because if you start at the beginning of a piece every time and practice it, you don't always get to the end. So the beginning gets a lot of practice, the end doesn't get very much. And I've heard people play this way when they're performing, students are performing. They start off really solid, they know it well. And then as they get more and more into the piece, they start making mistakes and hesitating. And by the time they get to the end of it, they basically can't play it. That's because they always practiced it starting at the beginning every time. It's really, in my opinion, a bad habit. So do this, learning it a section at a time. Focus on section A and then forget it. No, really, forget it. Set it aside and do section B and then section A1 and then put them together. Some people go the other way. They'll start at the end and work on that first. They'll work on section A1 first and then they'll work on section B next. And then they'll go back. They do it backwards. Personal thing, however you want to do it. I don't know that one way is better than another. I've had bands and band conductor. I've had them do it both ways. Now let's talk about what's going on. Let's make sure, because we're playing the hands together, I'm going to kind of take one hand at a time here. So the right hand, you have a 3 and a 1 on middle C and an E, and they're together. When you have the notes all coming on the same beat, it means you play them at the same time. And that's what this is. They're lined up vertically here. So it's 1, just lowering the hand down here. I haven't really talked about technique. I'm going to have to start getting into it. Technique, you really need a live teacher. Someone who can actually see what you're doing so they can fix you. Because you can listen to me, you can watch me, and still get it all wrong. You need somebody to actually see what you're doing. So I'll try. With multiple notes, I'm lowering the whole hand down. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just stay relaxed with a nice loose wrist here. This is kind of the shock absorber here. Try and get the notes down at the same time. Then the left hand, well, your third finger here, so you're here. And it's just these notes. And then in the third measure, it's a B and an 8. Okay. Then I'll put the hands together. Well, at the beginning, I'm here. I'm this position where the thumbs are both sharing middle C. We call that middle C position. You don't need 2 fingers on a note. There isn't room for it anyway. So here, it's like a timeshare, where one finger gets it or the other. So either the right hand gets it or the left hand gets it, depending on the music. If the C's in the upper staff, the right hand gets it. So just get the left hand C out of the way. It's here. These notes together. The A and the C all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. The idea? You go through and put it all together at your speed. Then go back over the tricky spots, get rid of any hesitations, and you want to get to where you can play this without looking at the keyboard. Then I think about the expression marks. They're called the articulation. The only one we've had so far is the accent. You see at the beginning the accents on all those notes? Now when you have more than one note together, they only put one accent, and both notes get it. So all of these are accented. That makes them very loud for those. When you get to measure 10, you get a P for piano is soft. Soft, whatever you think soft. And then for the last line, back to where you were, very loud, loud with an accent. It loud. That's the dynamics. Ideally, you get past the mechanics of note playing, whatever. Get past all that, where it's more or less automatic to you, and you start feeling the music. You feel the dynamics. You feel the accents. You feel the music. Otherwise, just let a computer do it. But there's a lot of feeling involved in music. Speed with spirit. Well, isn't that nice? However fast you think with spirit is. Oh. That's my spirit right now. With a couple cups of coffee, it might be a different spirit, or cups of wine, whatever. Different, okay. It's personal. You feel this music. Now, you go through and learn it, and then once you have it, no hesitations. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the louds and softs. I'll do the accents, but that's it. We're just checking notes and rhythms. We're not performing it. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. There is a duet part for this at the bottom of the page. I'd like to play that. And you play what you just played, but I'm going to speed this up quite a bit. So it's going to go about a 1, 2, 3, 4. About that speed. But again, I need you to go up on the keyboard. So pretend middle C instead of here on the keyboard is up here. So instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. 1, 2, ready, go.